That's Jon Taffer speaking. Not in an alley, not in a war zone, but in a bar. A bar that, as far as we can tell, was just minding its own sticky, beer-soaked business, until a man in a blazer came in yelling about ROI. Welcome to Bar Rescue, where emotional breakdowns meet bottle service, where struggling bar owners call for help and instead receive a volcanic dose of shame therapy delivered by a man whose blood type is probably Red Bull.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
In theory, Bar Rescue was a noble crusade. The premise: Jon Taffer, nightlife savant, human foghorn, and certified eye bulger, saves failing bars with experience, insight, and volume. Think Kitchen Nightmares, but with less foie gras and more bodily fluids. Every episode promised a transformation. A filthy, failing dive bar would be reborn, like a phoenix rising from a pile of fruit flies and broken POS systems. Taffer would storm in screaming, "Shut it down," then lecture the staff with lines like, "I embrace solutions, not excuses."
You know that he's touching raw chicken with his hands and then grabbing salad?
Before performing a $20,000 makeover that somehow fixed years of negligence, trauma, and unpaid taxes. And for a while, we ate it up. Because deep down, we all wanted to believe that one angry man and a new drink menu could turn failure into triumph. That any lost soul behind a sticky bar could be saved, if only someone screamed at them hard enough. But as the seasons dragged on, the cracks began to show. Literal cracks in the walls, metaphorical ones in the premise. The drama got messier, the transformations more hollow, and the savior complex increasingly absurd. This isn't just a show about fixing bars. It's a masterclass in reality TV fakery, masculinity as branding, and what happens when your hero turns out to be yelling mostly for the cameras. Let's talk about Bar Rescue. And let's do what Jon Taffer never actually did. Look past the surface.
Does he know how much money he's losing? No, he doesn't, does he?
In the beginning, there was chaos. It was 2011. America was clawing its way out of a recession, the craft beer trend was exploding, and cable TV was still pretending to be culturally important. Into this arena stepped Bar Rescue, a show that promised to save failing bars with the help of one very angry man. That man was Jon Taffer, a bar consultant with 30 years of experience, a voice like a jackhammer, and the fashion sense of a nightclub bouncer attending a TED Talk. Taffer wasn't just any industry veteran. He'd helped create the NFL Sunday Ticket, ran dozens of successful venues, and reportedly once increased revenue by reconfiguring the placement of a dance floor. He was, in his words, the Gordon Ramsay of bars, except louder and somehow more confident. When Bar Rescue premiered on Spike TV in July 2011, it didn't just offer renovations, it offered redemption. The first episode featured a bar in Las Vegas called Angels, which had all the charm of a DMV on St. Patrick's Day. Taffer came in, analyzed the operation like a military general, screamed a little, and left the place transformed. The audience? Hooked. By season 3, Bar Rescue was pulling in nearly 2 million viewers per episode. That's not just good for cable. That's drunk uncle at Thanksgiving levels of attention. Taffer became a meme, a brand, and to many bar owners, a last desperate hope.
And you're surrounded by failure that's so easy to fix. It's so easy to tell him to clean.
Spike TV leaned in hard, ordering more episodes and eventually building a whole identity around the show's aggressive swagger. Taffer himself wasn't just fixing bars. He was selling books, giving keynotes, and introducing the world to such life-changing concepts as the butt funnel. A real term Taffer has used for years to describe a bar layout feature designed to increase interaction by controlling the flow of people. Yes, really. He's defended the concept in multiple interviews. And the viewers? They loved it. Because nothing says American Dream like a dude yelling, "I'm here to save your bar," while a grown man weeps over spilled margarita mix.
3 days after I fix it, and then you tell me what you think, okay?
It was success, spectacle, and savior complex. All shaken, not stirred. It started with a flirt. In 2014, Bar Rescue aired an episode titled "Don't Mess with Taffer's Wife." The premise: John's wife Nicole goes undercover at a Vegas bar and the owner, Paul Dr. Wilkes, flirts with her. Cue Taffer exploding like a Mentos in Diet Coke. He storms in, throws a drink in Wilkes' face, and delivers the kind of chest-thumping monologue that makes Jersey Shore look like Downton Abbey. Iconic episode? Absolutely. But then came the lawsuit. Wilkes claimed the entire thing was staged. Court documents allege that during casting, producers told him extreme and inappropriate behavior would boost his chances of being picked. He even received text messages instructing him to hit on Nicole hardcore. Allegedly, the drink toss, the rage, the whole meltdown, pre-planned. Wilkes also said he was physically grabbed, spit on, and screamed at, and he sued for assault, fraud, and emotional distress. The case was settled quietly. The episode disappeared from regular reruns and streaming. Online reports have claimed it remained for sale on some digital platforms at various times, though availability has varied. Suddenly, Bar Rescue wasn't just loud reality TV, it was possibly scripted reality TV, and viewers began to notice. Then came the online sleuths. Reddit threads and YouTube breakdowns appeared, dissecting continuity errors, bartenders wearing different clothes mid-shift, or candid moments magically filmed from 3 camera angles. The internet's verdict? Maybe Jon Taffer wasn't just spontaneously throwing tantrums, maybe he was doing takes.
Do you always have an attitude like this?
Like what?
Then came the headlines that weren't scripted. In 2013, bar owner Chris Farrell, whose venue, the Pit and Barrel, had been rescued, shot and killed a country musician in his bar. The episode was set to air that same weekend, and due to a scheduling mistake, it briefly aired at 3 a.m., showing a cheerful makeover of what had just become a crime scene. Spike pulled it from rotation, and Farrell was later sentenced to 20 years in prison. It was reality TV colliding with actual reality, and the collision was ugly. The lawsuits weren't just from bar owners. In 2016, former employee Song-Han Wong sued Taffer, alleging he was pushed out to make room for young, attractive women. Wong, who is Asian American, also alleged racial discrimination. The case didn't make many headlines. Beyond the trade press, and its outcome wasn't widely reported, but it added another crack in the guru image Taffer had built. And then there was Mezcal. During a press interview, Taffer confidently claimed that Mezcal, like tequila, came from hallucinogenic plants such as mescaline, which for anyone keeping score at home is wrong. Mezcal and tequila are agave distillates. Mescaline is a psychedelic compound from peyote, a cactus. They are about as similar as a margarita and motor oil. Bartenders online reacted with the speed and venom of a bad Yelp review. Memes compared Taffer to flat earthers. A Facebook group popped up, Bartenders Against Jon Taffer. Thousands joined, mocking his terminology, his oversimplified business advice, and his apparent gaps in bar industry knowledge. To them, Taffer wasn't a guru. He was a guy selling TV drama with a garnish of bad science.
My biggest disappointment lies with you.
You too. I thought you came here to help me.
The internet made him a meme. Taffer's face, mid-yell, eyes bulging, became shorthand for outrage. His shut it down scream, perfect for TikTok edits of failed baking projects, ugly outfits, or political scandals. The official Bar Rescue account leaned in, posting rage compilations and reaction clips. TikTok users even staged mock stress tests in their kitchens, yelling at roommates for not garnishing imaginary mojitos.
Where's the manager?
Well, if it isn't Mr. Rescue himself, ready to...
It was the rare case where a man yelling about dirty pint glasses could trend alongside K-pop fan cams. Some episodes left a bad aftertaste. Take Pirates Tavern, one of the show's most infamous early rescues. The pirate-themed bar was rebranded as Corporate Bar and Grill, only for the owners to immediately revert back to pirates once the cameras left. They later said they hated the rebrand and felt misrepresented. According to local reports, the bar closed in 2015 through financial troubles and the ongoing reputational pressure from their episode. And yet here's the twist, the show keeps going. Each new season follows a familiar rhythm. Dirty bar, broken owner, transformation montage, and tearful reveal. Critics say the formula's gone stale, fans call it comfort TV. Either way, Bar Rescue has outlived many of the bars it's saved. In fact, a handful of bars have thrived for years post-rescue, proof that occasionally the chaos works. As of January 2025, Paramount Network had already renewed it for a 10th season, because in the end, no matter the lawsuits, memes, or controversies, Jon Taffer's still shouting, and America, for reasons unknown, keeps pouring another round. At this point, Bar Rescue isn't broken because it failed, it's broken because it succeeded too well. And we kept ordering another round. It perfected the formula, and then kept hitting copy-paste for 14 seasons straight. By 2025, every episode feels like it was written by a robot who binge-watched the first 5 seasons.
Guys, we have a dangerous situation. We need to shut this bar down.
There's no arc, no suspense, just an unchanging ritual of failure, screaming, and slightly improved lighting. You know exactly what's going to happen. The bar is disgusting, the owner is clueless, the staff is drunk, crying, or both. Taffer walks in, looks horrified, and says, "You're gonna kill somebody in here." What once felt raw and urgent now feels as spontaneous as a cruise ship safety video. But the real rot goes deeper. The numbers don't lie. According to mid-show statistics, nearly half of the bars rescued still closed. and many of those that stayed open quietly reversed Taffer's changes. New names switched back, menus tossed, butt funnels removed. Because Bar Rescue was never really about helping bars, it was about helping Taffer. Every bar makeover doubled as a brand extension. A new cocktail menu featuring his own Taffer mixologist line, walls painted in Taffer gray, and promotional signs that looked like Instagram ads for a pyramid scheme.
But you just want to make drinks. You want to be an owner or a bartender?
The man literally launched his own franchise bar chain, Taffer's Tavern, using his TV persona as credibility. The chain now has multiple locations and more coming soon, according to official franchise announcements. But credibility is fragile, especially when your expertise comes with shouting and shaky facts. Industry professionals, bartenders, consultants, chefs started viewing Taffer the way tech workers view LinkedIn influencers: loud, confident, and mostly full of it. His advice often lacked nuance. His design choices prioritized TV appeal over practicality. His rants masked a lack of real-world support after the cameras left. And let's be honest, in a world where hospitality struggles with labor shortages, mental health, and razor-thin margins, a guy yelling "fix your attitude" doesn't cut it anymore. Worst of all, the show aged, but its worldview didn't. Bar Rescue still clings to the fantasy that success is just one shout away. That tough love, macho energy, and a fresh coat of paint can heal years of bad business, trauma, and systemic failure. It's not just dated, it's delusional.
Amongst our 4 owners, Danielle is stepping up as a manager.
The real world moved on, but Bar Rescue is still in 2013, screaming into the void, hoping we're still watching. Bar Rescue was never really about bars. It was about transformation, redemption. The seductive idea that no matter how bad things get, how sticky your floor, how rotten your walk-in fridge, how deeply dysfunctional your staff, someone could swoop in, yell at you for 48 hours and save everything. And for a while, that fantasy worked. There were moments, rare, blink and you'll miss it moments, where a bar owner really turned it around, where a team came together, where Taffer put the clipboard down and actually listened. Those were the episodes people remembered. The hope.
Everybody in this room has a drink.
The human drama. But they weren't the rule. They were the exception. And they weren't enough. Because Bar Rescue didn't just sell success. It sold the illusion that success is simple. That all you need is a coat of paint, a signature cocktail, and the emotional stability of a malfunctioning car alarm. That yelling works. That fear fixes people. It doesn't. Real rescue takes time. It takes humility. It takes more than 4 days and a branding package sponsored by Paramount Network. By the end, Bar Rescue wasn't even rescuing bars. It was rescuing itself. From irrelevance, from scrutiny, from its own contradictions. A tired format chasing virality with rage clips and TikTok shoutfests. So, can Bar Rescue be saved? Honestly, who cares? Paramount already said yes before we even asked. The question we should be asking is, why did we ever believe it could? Like and subscribe and tell us in the comments, what would you rename Pirates Tavern? Hint, Shut It Down and Grill is already taken.